would like to give you an experience of what it feels like to be amongst us here in the ninth dimension and in the Arcturian star system. If you could, please close your eyes and imagine, if you have never done this consciously, imagine that you can leave your body at will and leave your body behind so that you can know yourself fully as a non physical consciousness.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Reality Revolution. We have a very special episode today. Oh my gosh. I'm sitting down with some of the most respected and extraordinary channelers on the planet, all together in one conversation to give you a preview of what's coming to Escondido at the channel panel. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know I've spent 8 years, uh, exploring consciousness and quantum reality and so many different things. And I've also read some of the amazing channeled collectives, the Arcturian Council, the creators, Thymus. But what's about to happen in Escondido takes all that to another level because you will be in the room live with multiple channels simultaneously, and you will have the chance to ask your own questions directly to entities that come through. They have an amazing list of people that are going to be there, including the people today. We also have Lee Carroll, Daryl Anka, Daniel Scranton. We're going to have Bashar is going to be there. I know you guys had a channel panel before in Los Angeles, and I heard nothing but amazing things when I talked to Daniel and others that attended. And today I have Rob Gauthier, who known as the ET Whisperer. We've got a channel to talk to him. He channels T-Reb Bor Yet Me, Aridif, and Metatron. Wendy Kennedy has been channeling the Ninth Dimensional Pleiadian Collective. We might have Daniel join us, and you've heard me read his channels with Arcturian Council and the creators. Lissa Royal Holt, one of the true pioneers of the field, channeling since 1985, who brings through the Pleiadian being Sasha and authored the foundational book that we've talked about, The Prism of Lyra, which is just absolutely magnificent. Marilyn Harper, The Divine Link for Andromeda and the Council of Light, and from the 17th Dimension, J.J. Brighton, a galactic channel, light language mentor, and creator of the multidimensional soul integration modality. This is an unbelievable amount of multidimensional intelligence in our conversation. We've got Pleiadian collectives and Arcturian councils and fifth density reptilian beings from the Capella star system, ascended masters, archangels, galactic light language, and represented here all today in this wonderful experience. Thank you, Rob, for making this happen. It's just so excited. So let's get into it. I want to find out what these beings have to say about, where humanity is right now, what's coming, what you can expect when you join them in Escondido. So how's it going, Rob?
It's going great. Thank you for having me and all of my friends here on as guests. It's been a very exciting path, and we really love doing these events with other channelers. It's a pretty unique thing to be able to spend time with other people who do channeling also.
Tell me about the palpable presence when you're in this. I've experienced it at my events when you're in a room and you can feel the presence of all these higher dimensional entities. It changes the vibration of the room, doesn't it? When you have a room full of people that are channeling this, those energies that are there, it makes it very special, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think most of the presenters who I've had come and a lot of them who are here today have experienced that gigantic vibration. It feels so different. We just did one in October in West Virginia, in the middle of
Oh,
nowhere, West
wow.
Virginia. And there are people who live there still who are telling us how much the energy overall has changed there permanently. So it's like an anchor to that higher
Yes.
dimensional energy.
So you're with me on this. I've thrown some events this year. I think what we're doing by holding these events, it's like we create a portal in that area. And you probably were like, why are we going to West Virginia? And then when you showed up, you were like, ah, now I know why we're in West Virginia, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think all the presenters were asking the same thing when I
Like, what are
asked them
we
to
in
come
here?
out
And
to
then when
West
you
Virginia.
get there, you realize, right? Like that you're guided to go to these places, and it's sort of it's like your energies are needed there. So it's almost like you're going around opening portals up while you're doing this, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it really does shift the people who are at the event and it shifts the people who live around the events. And even someone like myself, most of the channelers here have channeled longer than I have. And I've been channeling since 2010. Every time I do this, it shifts my own life personally. Like things personally in my personal day-to-day life shift
Wow.
tremendously too.
Yeah, what I'm finding fascinating, and I'm just a novice or rookie in channeling, and I have channeled, but like we talked about before, the longer you do it, the better you get at it. There really is something special that happens almost like at the 10-year mark. After you've been channeling, you gain a sort of familiarity with the process, and you're able to realize and recognize when you're coming in and when the entity's coming in, the channels become more and more pure. I'd like to get your impressions of that.
No, I agree wholly. I don't think there's been one year that I've channeled, or most of these other people who are here today with me. I've considered them my friends. I've known them for many years, most everyone here today. And it's a common trait with everyone who channels. Like every year, when you're doing this every day or doing it multiple times per week, that conscious connection inside of yourself grows. So the expanded consciousness outside of you grows, and your connection with these beings becomes more concrete.
I'd love to go around and have each of you just briefly share, what you're channeling and any sort of information, especially for those people that maybe are encountering you for the first time, so they have some impressions when we start to hear the channel. Start with anybody that wants to. How about Marilyn? We can start with Marilyn.
Hello.
Hey,
And thank you so much for having me on today. This is quite an honor. I'm pleased to be here. I love your show.
well, thank you.
And Rob is doing a fabulous job in organizing all of the channel panel. When you're working with a lot of channels, it's like everybody's out of their body, so nobody can remember anything.
Yeah.
and, and so I have been channeling Adironda and the Council of Light since 1999, and it has been quite a journey. They are from the 17th dimension, as you said, and they're the spokesbeing for a council of 12 or more galactics, archangels, ascended masters from this planet, and it's quite a challenge, quite an opportunity for us to shift the consciousness of the planet, and that's really what we're all here doing. Excuse me. And with that consciousness shift, as we witnessed in West Virginia, I mean, when we connected with the galactics the last evening that we were there, and then
Hmm.
we went outside to take pictures of whatever showed up, it was fascinating because there were people that took pictures of buildings that we couldn't see with our naked eye,
Oh,
and
wow.
constellations that we couldn't see with our naked eye, and there were things moving around in the sky. And so when you have a collective in one place, like in West Virginia or Los Angeles or wherever, Escondido, wherever we are, there's this energy ripple that goes out through the planet, and
Hmm.
it is shifting. And I'm excited to be a part of this because the planet can use a little shifting right now.
That's for sure. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Lissa, I'd love to hear your what you have to say.
Well, hi, Brian. Thank
Hey,
you
good
for
to see you
having me
again.
back. It's a pleasure to be with all of you. As he said, I've been channeling since 1985, a long, long, long time. And the good thing about that is that I've been able to see like the different shifts that have happened over 40 years now. And I can see that it is actually happening. There is definitely a change. So for me, my focus has been extraterrestrial energies. It seems to be what comes to me. It happened from a series of UFO experiences and things like that. But my work has been on two tracks.
Hmm.
The contact, the opening to contact, the preparing for contact, but also the awakening track as well. And over the years and over the decades now, I'm starting to see how those two tracks are coming together. They very, very, very much influence each other, which is really exciting to me. So an opportunity to be at the channel panel again with all of my lovely cohort channels that I can't wait to be with you in person. I've noticed, I've been around a while, I've done a lot of conferences, but when I did the channel panel for the first time, I noticed a big difference in, I can't even describe it, the energy. There was more of a unity feel than I've ever felt at a conference before, which was really, really exciting, and including the unity amongst the presenters as well. So it's a really wonderful experience to connect truly with like-minded people and go into that zone of other realms that maybe we don't touch all the time in our daily lives. So I'm really, really, really excited about that.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be incredible. JJ, what would you like to share?
Brian, this is hard for me. I'm very much fangirling on every level.
Oh, well, hey, I'm fanboying, so
Listen, I feel like I'm a newbie here. I'm just going to put it out there. You guys may not, you might maybe realize it if you haven't heard of me before, but I haven't been to too many conferences. I feel super honored and humbled to be considered a colleague of these incredible beings that I admire so much. I am having a hard time right now. Brian, I have to say and give you credit for a huge part of my journey. It was started with
oh,
you. And little did I know back when I was listening to you read Manly P. Hall
yes.
that one day I would be here. And I have to tell anybody who's listening, like, just let it unfold. You have no idea what's coming in the next few years for you. You could be right here. Like, it's expanding in ways we don't even understand. And today I'm very honored and a bit emotional, to be quite honest with you, to feel into what wants to come through, and very much connecting with the Council of Star Mothers, very near and dear to my heart. So today I'll be bringing that divine feminine frequency. I am a mother of 8 children, so I very much embody the mothering frequency here physically on the planet. And therefore, channeling the Star Mothers came as second nature to me once I was opening my channel. And so today, yes, I feel them very present in all forms and multi-galactic forms, many different Star Mothers coming in. And just grateful to be here. Thank you.
Wow. 8 kids, what a miracle. Goodness gracious. We can see the miracle right there. You look like you're in your 20s. So, I mean, geez, what the heck is that all about? We got Wendy next. What would you like to share? Wendy Kennedy. Do we got you?
Yes.
Oh, there. Hey.
So, first, I would just want to say thank you so much. It's so lovely to be here and to be with everyone. And, it's such a special thing, as Rob was saying, to be able to be in a space where everyone is receiving higher vibrational energies. And not only, after doing this for so long, I've been doing this for 31 years now. And not only are we able to recognize our own guides and that energy coming in faster, but also recognize it in other people when they start to channel, whether they're aware of it or not. And to me, that's really special because people will start to bring through their higher energy and you can feel it. You can notice the shift. And that's happening more and more, where people, not only are they bringing through that wisdom, but they're conscious that they are actually bringing in that information. So, like I said, I've been doing this for 31 years, and 30 of those I've been doing with the Ninth Dimensional Pleiadian Collective. I actually work with a lot of different galactic beings, but they tend to take point. And at the beginning, it was a lot of really big picture information. This is what's happening in the galaxy, in the universe. And then they brought it down to a more personal level for many years. They said, you need to really understand your own energy field. And now we're at a very special place where we get to do both of those things, be aware of our own energy and also to connect. And that's one of the things I love about our focus for Escondido, is we're embracing contact. We are at that point, but we also have to really be conscious of our own energy and the frequencies that we're holding in order to prepare for that.
So exciting. And that's the commonality I'm noticing with all of these channels lately. It's the first time, I mean, I'm constantly reading channels. And it feels like the first time I really felt like they were confidently saying within a couple of years, we're going to have some powerful contact experiences. And I don't remember that before. Usually it's like, yeah, maybe someday. The implication was we're not even close to ready. And I don't know if we're ready. I mean, obviously they're saying that have you guys noticed this? A sort of shift and a change, a preparation that's being made for what's to come.
Yeah, my own guides have been talking about this for the last several years. They're like 2026. That's a year for disclosure. That's a year for more information coming out and hearing more and more channels saying 2026, 2027. We're there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited to see how the Steven Spielberg's movie Disclosure affects the general consciousness, because that's how we are when it enters into the larger group consciousness, and we're starting to see it like on Good Morning America, and they're talking about these things. I think it's slowly starting to happening. So I would love to hear you guys channel, and we got everybody together. I'd love it if you took off your mics, and sometimes there is not the proper question that can really bring about what you guys are trying to say. And I know that sometimes you respond to questions, but I'd love it, as we talked about before, um, is to give you guys a chance to sort of, hey, Daniel made it.
Yeah, I'm
Daniel's in the
here.
house. Yes, yes, yes. I would love it if we can all channel together. If anybody has a suggestion for how I should do this, because we can start with one, but we got so many, it's so incredible. We can try this experiment, allow these channels to communicate with each other, and for us to sit back and watch what happens to this, because I think there's a lot more that can come through if we just let it happen. Am I making any sense?
Yes, you are, brother.
All right.
Can I give you a little hint?
What's that?
Sometimes it's good to ask a question. You can do that and let whatever channels want to address the question or the team to,
Yeah,
show up.
let's do that. Well,
Yeah.
we can start out and then we can just let it sort of spread. Um, Daniel, do you need a little bit of time to get into channel?
You guys can just keep me muted while I'm toning for 3 minutes. And then you could like unmute me whenever you feel like it. I'll just be over here like this, and whenever anybody wants. Oh no, I have to unmute myself. That's right. I can do that. I could open my eyes and do it. So you just call on me whenever you want me.
All right. All right. So I'm going to give everybody a moment. I mean, when I channel, I need a little bit of time. I don't know how you guys do it. Some of you that have been doing it for a long time, I'm impressed, because I always need like a little bit of time. So I'm impressed by you guys that can instantly go into it, because that's also um, something impressive. And I know that each of you have a sort of different way of entering into channel. Um, but right now, what I'm seeing a lot in the different channels that I'm reading, and the question that seems to be coming to the forefront, is the world appears to be in a state of chaos. We see wars, we see things that are being unveiled and released. And so for many that carry an empathic heart, that feel connected to the collective, there's a sadness and a concern and worry that maybe we're going on the wrong path. And so I would love for you to talk to us about what's to come, what we see happening on the planet, and how the shift will play out. And if anybody wants to start, please go ahead, and then we'll go from there.
Brian, I just have a little bit of language of light coming through. I think it'll support the whole field
Okay.
in calibrating for a moment from the Star Mothers here. Gaina la to ore he anai, ia tu usha na ha e atkiana he soya. Are ia tunu ushai, yasi ianata hai iara or ahaya. And just inviting us all to just open the heart and allow for this really heart-centered weaving, heart-centered communication to be established here. And a lot of gratitude just flowing in from all the teams. I can feel just so much gratitude for our willingness to weave with them. And I feel also this sense of like colleagues, like they're coming in as like friends in family and honoring us as well here. So seeing us, even though we look at us as little humans, that we're like, we're there with them. You know, we're all one and we're all part of this field together and this expansion together. And I'm complete.
Thank you.
Ah, yes, hello, dears. This is the Ninth Dimensional Pleiadian Collective, and it is a pleasure and an honor to have the opportunity to connect with you. So, this is a very special time that you're entering. And on the surface, as you're observing this, it can seem exceptionally chaotic. It can seem a bit more negatively skewed. But that's also a perspective that is being, in some ways, pushed upon you. But we challenge you right now to really pay attention to what's happening in your small communities and notice how many positive things are going on. There are so many positive things that you cannot necessarily see right now because your focus is being directed to the negative that really will illustrate to you the growth that's happening in humanity. And sometimes humanity does require that tumultuous mirror, that chaotic mirror being reflected back to see what's not working. And sometimes when you can recognize what's not working, that gives you an indication of the direction to head, usually the opposite direction, to know what you want to build instead. And what you're going through right now is waking a lot of people up because it's uncomfortable. And from our vantage point, it's a very positive thing. And a lot of the worries, a lot of the doubts, the fears that you all have, from our perspective, are really unnecessary. We commune, have many conversations with many of the galactic beings that are surrounding your planet right now, sharing light, sharing love, sharing information, sharing gratitude. Nuclear war will never happen again on your planet. Your experiment has gone too far, and it will not be allowed to occur. That doesn't mean that the conventional warfare that you're seeing won't keep going on, because there's still lessons for you to get in that. But the fear, the core fear that you all have of nuclear war, it's not going to happen. So we want you to put that out of your mind and focus on the things that you want to create, the feeling states that you want instead. And that will create a new reality for everyone.
Thank you
Yes,
so
we
much.
would like to add to that if possible. Getting on the Pleiadian train, yes. This is Sasha, and we like to look at civilizations as they are making a transition from separation to unity, much like your civilization is doing now. And there have been many civilizations in your galactic family that have had very, very dramatic transformations. And there have been some who have had smoother. You're kind of right in the middle. But if we are to give you an analogy, there is an energy process that is happening on a deeper level that is a form of alchemy. And it happens in civilizations that have polarized energy. So what you're seeing on your surface now around the world is polarity, fighting, conflicting with each other. And the mind says, how in the world can this ever be transformed? But what the mind does not see is what is happening energetically under the surface. And the best analogy we can give you is like test tubes in a lab when you add different chemicals together. And the result is a complete change of the components. That is what is beginning to happen on your world as polarity collides, so to speak, as the poles collide with each other, releasing new energy and, in a sense, opening doors and possibilities that were not possible or present during the time of deep separation. So while we understand you are going through what you perceive to be rough ride right now, under the surface, we want you to know that there is a type of magic, a type of alchemy that is happening. And of course, you are getting a lot of help from those of us in the unseen realms.
Ah, so it is good day to you, huh? It is very good to see each of you here in virtual reality. We honor each of the messengers, Sasha and the Pleiadian Collective, all of the joining together in unity. And this is what you are. This is one of the few times that the peoples of this planet are focusing on one thing. During COVID, they were focusing on disease, and now you have brought this together, and everything is connecting. So, as Asosha said, and as the Pleiadian Collective said, that things are being brought to light. Those things that are not in integrity are coming in into. Oh, we forgot to introduce ourselves. Professor Marilyn sits in the background. Our name is Aronda, and we bring with us an entire entourage of beings of light on your behalf. So, back to the story. So in that energy and in that focus, just understand that you each have a part to play. As just like there were thousands, millions connecting with the No Kings rally, how many times do people all over the planet connect to state one thing that they are asking for, one thing that they are shifting in that connection for? And that is what is happening. So be not afraid, dearest. Be not acknowledging the chaos that appears to be happening. Acknowledge the peace that is growing. Acknowledge the shift of the consciousness that is growing within this energy. And as this shift of consciousness is growing, humanity, and we believe that you're so cute, in that energy, you humans are just very entertaining, because as Sasha said, that we are ending this time of separation. You are going into a 10-20 year cycle. We call it a cylinder, but it's a cycle where all of the peoples of this planet are getting the opportunity to become enlightened. They're getting that choice to make. I'm choosing to be enlightened. I'm choosing to overcome what appears to be happening and focus on what I'm choosing to be happening. And that state of enlightenment is spreading like a stream of water that's going over a flat surface. It is rippling out in that energy. And it is a powerful shift of consciousness. And yes, we agree, 26, 27 conscious contact, but they will not come until it is safe to be here. And that means the Star Wars weaponry gets to point to something else or be destroyed altogether. So in that energy, in the destruction, it is not, we don't want big bombs to go off in space or bombs to go off here. But what we're saying is that the energy is coming in as we are shifting this dimensional reality, and all of the galaxies are watching this focus. All of the galaxies, this little blue planet seems so interesting to many, many galaxies, and so they are all watching, because this is the first time a planet that was inhabited has shifted the consciousness of the people, has shifted the dimension, if you would, of the people, while it has been inhabited and not nearly becoming extinct. So that is what is happening. So be not afraid, dearest beings of light. Know that you are still the light, and wherever the light is, nothing else can stand. So in that energy, remember who you are, be who you are, and embrace who you are.
Greetings to you all, this is Ardif. We first express that as you perceive the shifting of the earth around you, what you are perceiving on a human level often is chaos, destruction, war, etc. But as we have shared throughout the years of co-creating with humans, that the experience of this shift occurs so that humans can understand what is not preferred. We understand it is more exciting to look through that rear view mirror at what you feel is not resonant, but there are many humans who do not understand the imbalance underneath. Those things that are occurring around you, for example, every conflict that has occurred either socially, politically, or through the agents of war have brought more information to the human perspective and to the average human, rather than that where, as of 20 years previous, only those that were perceived as conspiracy theorists or entities who were perceived as crazy, would express that there's tyrannical agents beneath government systems. And of course, we do not say this as a means to scare you. It is important for humans to see the tyranny that exists below the government. We are not speaking politically of either left or right parties. We are saying the system itself that was created in order to suppress the experience of those humans underneath it must be exposed, and the only way those systems become exposed is through co-creating as a collective consciousness these events so that humans who do perceive in a leaning of more liberal understanding and those who lean more within a conservative mindset both can perceive the same imbalance underneath in that system, where both sides of the spectrum can look inward and express the system itself is faulted. And these experiences of great imbalance are the only things that shake most humans out of their awareness and create the capacity for you to see the systems are broke. We have expressed previously that in this time you are required to know that there are holes in your boat so that you don't drown. And by understanding and perceiving that collectively, with love and respect for one another, you can create new systems for yourself. No agencies are required.
Yes, we are the Arcturian Council, and we are in agreement with our colleagues from all parts across the universe. We are very interested in observing how you all decide to go about shifting and changing to a better reality, a reality that serves the whole, that serves all instead of just a few. And of course, when you have some chaos and some civil unrest there on planet Earth, it does cause people to ask for something better. So just like when you have an event such as the channel panel, where so many people are gathering together to raise their level of consciousness, and you have so many beings and collectives coming to be a part of that, to participate, to observe, and many portals are opened, much energy is being summoned at an event like the one you have coming up. So this is also true when you have wars and you have conflicts of all kinds going on there on your planet. It is a time of more summoning, and when there's summoning and when there's a need, there is an answer, and the answer is, of course, energetic at first, and then the answer comes more in physical ways, which is what you have coming up with the contact experience that is imminent, that we also have been talking about for quite some time, and now that time is upon humanity, and we are very excited. We are lending our energy. We will not be arriving in ships, as we are a non-physical collective consciousness, but we are very excited about witnessing the arrival of the ships and the response to it. And we will be here. We will be ready for all the questions that people have when this time does, in fact, arrive on planet Earth. In the meantime, we are continuing to support you all energetically, and we're very happy to be here and be a part of this little gathering in your cyberspace.
Thank you, everyone, for these wonderful responses. It's just amazing. I'd like to take this to another level. I really want to explore what your consciousness is like, what we get to experience in the coming years as infinite beings, We'd love to get your perspective of a higher level of consciousness, what it's like on your planet, what it's like to, on a daily basis, what it's like to live in unity. If anybody would like to share, I would love to hear what you have to say.
What a wonderful question, Brian. And yet at the same time, how much time do you have for us to answer it? Yes.
As much as you need.
Well, for the viewers who might not be aware, the being Sasha is a physical being existing in what you would call a fourth density state of consciousness. So by its nature, that consciousness itself has less separation experiences than what you have become used to as human beings. So when you ask the question, what our consciousness is like, it's kind of like us asking you, my dear, what does it feel like to be human? Where do you start with the answer to that question? Yes. But we could say that for us, we like to use metaphors, so we're going to use a metaphor. If you are, for example, in a hotel that has many, many conference rooms, all with closed doors, your way of navigating your consciousness as human is that your waking state, so to speak, is in one room. Your sleep state is in another room. Your meditation state is in another room, etc., etc. For us, the consciousness is much more expanded and much more multidimensional in that we can be in one room that houses all different states of consciousness. So it's much like a gradient where we can operate as physical beings in daily life, and yet at the same time, our awareness is conscious and aware on other multi-levels, so we can, as you say, cosmically multitask in ways that you are eventually moving to. So an example in your world would be that many of you are learning lucid dreaming, or you've had lucid dream experiences where you're learning how to operate in several layers of consciousness simultaneously. If you extrapolate that idea, then you can see that your consciousness becomes aware of itself in multidimensional realms in a way that is very, you could say, fractal, reminding you of the hologram that is creation itself. So maybe we've gotten a little too nerdy there, but what you have to look forward to is that you are moving out of those separate conference rooms, so to speak, where you feel the walls close you in and you're so small and you can't reach other states of consciousness. Those walls are beginning to melt, so to speak, and you're beginning to move into the more expansive state where you can be aware of your consciousness and interact at multidimensional levels. And we're not saying it's coming in a distant future, it's already beginning.
Greetings to you all yet again, this is Ardif. To understand where we in our own race as Denebians exist, within the sixth density of consciousness, you have to understand how we break down consciousness. And of course, what is our sixth density may be another entity's third density. What our seventh dimension may be a 12th dimension for another being inherently. So look at where humans are in this moment. Humans are shifting from that third density to fourth density consciousness, meaning they are going from a fourth dimensional self to a fifth dimensional self, whereas previously we're only exploring the aspects of self-growth, where the third density correlates with your third chakra in the energy center. The knowing thyself was the mastery. And of course, you are shifting from that to knowing all, or connecting, or utilizing the heart. And that experience is a fourth density experience, connecting to all other entities, connecting to your love, connecting to your collective, going through fifth density, such as treble yitni, that Rob also works with. This entity is a fifth density consciousness, all six dimensional in nature. This means the theme for his incarnation cycle as a soul is to experience the exploration of wisdom. So, of course, mastering the universal knowledge and understanding a great deal of those things that were hidden in the third and fourth density experience, our own consciousness. At sixth density is the last state where one soul inhabits a physical body, where we are birthed and incarnate and die and reincarnate in a physical body. Albeit much less physical than yours, we still exist in the physical body. And in our own experience, we are where connection and love meets wisdom. This means all things that we know, we explore with the heart. All things that we love, we explore the wisdom behind. So it is a true mastery of energy in a physical sense. The exploration of our own collective is tightly knit with one another. We understand and know what others think and feel. And the experience itself, we connect with nature. Many humans have asked, does music exist in other dimensions? Of course. And the way that we create music is working with wind to go through that which is similar to our trees. And the whistling of that wind working with elemental consciousness produces sound. We utilize water, earth, air, ether to create the natural foundations of sound that vibrate in the background to create not only entertainment for us, but a synchronicity with the harmonic vibration frequency. We are at one with our world. So, of course, in each different dimension and experience, for each different collective, the experience varies quite drastically from one another.
And where we are, we all have evolved beyond from the 17th dimension, or some call it the 17th density. What we are, as we do not have physical form. We've never spoken through another human until we connected with our sweet vessel, Marilyn. She volunteered to be all that she is, and not knowing at the time that she was volunteering for us to come in. We have been sent by Source, the source of all that is, and we are here to help you, help all of humanity feel what it feels like to be held in pure, total, complete, unconditional, infinite love. For you see, when we first arrived in the 1990s, back in the dark ages, yes, with that energy, it happens that the planet itself, your planet, was shifting its dimensional frequency, and the people, instead of shifting, were sort of splaying about and not getting it, not understanding what in the world was happening. So the source of all that is sent specific messengers, as each of you are, each of those energies are those specific messengers. Each of our dear colleagues here are bringing in another realm of consciousness, and that realm is shifting the frequency of the planet and the people that are within this planet. As you know, there are more messengers, you call them channels, that on the planet now than there ever has been before. And that is because to find that, to connect with that energy, you get the opportunity to feel that infinite love. For love heals all, knows all, has all of those little metaphors with love. You know what they are. Many people sing songs about them. And in that energy, it is the song itself that is the creative aspect. That is what we are doing here. If you were to look upon us, we would be represented as mist, not mist like a fog, with a different, your definition of colors looking upon us. For we have evolved beyond that physical form. And it is our understanding that many, many galactics have evolved beyond the emotions that you humans experience. And because of that, they are learning that their species is not necessarily evolving like it could, and that is why they are sending messengers to your dear planet Earth to learn, to grow, to know what love is, to understand it, and to then reverberate it. Our vessel Marilyn is an activator. She activates things that makes what is previous unacceptable acceptable. We magnify that energy in groups to activate what you are asking for and what you would like to see and experience in today, tomorrow, and the rest of your lives. Or maybe in the past lives, because time means nothing to us. As you see what we say, so we wish to hold each of you in that pure, infinite love. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, dears, we are ninth dimensional, which means we do not have a physical body. We are beings of light. And rather than incarnating to a planetary body the way that you do, we actually align our energies with a star. And in our case, it is Alcyone or Alcyon, the central star in the Pleiades system. And it is a very special star because it is a repository for knowledge and records. It is a library, just as your sun is a library for all of the information of all the beings that inhabit your solar system. The information, the records are contained there. They're also contained within you holographically, but there is a central repository for that information, which sometimes can make it a little easier. And there are beings who oversee this information to help you, like librarians that you have at your facilities who can help you find where a specific record is located. That is in part what we do. We are keepers of records because Alcyone is the repository of the records for your entire galaxy. And we are also keepers of frequency, which means we also monitor time and the purity of the frequency of each now moment is maintained, because there are those in the higher vibrational levels who can very easily move through what you would call time. Time is simply a marker for a frequency. It's like having, for those of you that are old enough to remember, the Dewey Decimal System on the book in the library. You knew where to find it, and time is that marker to allow you to know where a specific frequency exists within time and space, because time is concurrent. There is really no past, there is no future. So for us, we are ever present with you. You ask what our experience is like. At any given moment, we are a group of 2,500 beings of light, but at any given moment, we can partition off our awareness to see ourselves as an individuated consciousness, the way that you do, or we can expand our awareness to perceive ourselves as one with all it is. And that is the biggest shift in perspective that you're about to go through. As you move up to the higher vibrational level, you're going to be able to have that ability to see yourself as your, for lack of a better way of saying it, your personality, this lifetime, this version of you, and see yourself as part of the whole. And it's not something, and this will be a little hard for you to wrap your brain around, it's not something that you have to go from one to the other and then back again and then back again. You can have this awareness of yourself as both things at once. Right now, you have somewhat of a sense of that in moments of meditation. Sometimes you might use your plant world to assist you to access altered states. It's one or the other for you right now. Where you're going, you can experience both things as being true, and you understand the natural laws, how reality is manifest, and you are able in every moment to consciously direct your energy to manifest the reality that you'd like to explore for yourselves. That's the biggest difference, and this is where you're headed. You're getting it now. You're learning how to do that in the moments here where you understand that the frequencies that you hold and project will determine what you're capable of perceiving and experiencing as the reflected reality. And you're playing with it now with the illusion of time so that you can kind of step out of those lower frequencies if you happen to be projecting them before they manifest and show up. Like attracts like, so you're out of resonance, you're not experiencing the negative energy. You've got some time to alter your frequency, and it's getting faster and faster and faster. It's exponential. You used to ask us, or we used to say 25 years ago that time is going to accelerate and it's going to feel like it's speeding up. And you'd say, well, peace, what does that mean? What does that feel like? And we would say to you now, what does it feel like? It feels like your life. There's just so much more data that is coming in. And if you think about how much data you took in a 24-hour period 25 years ago and how much you take in today, that's, from your perspective, the acceleration of time. And that's going to increase. So this year, it's about 4 hours in a 24-hour period that you would have had 20 years ago. Next year, it's going to be 2. It's going to feel even faster. So you're getting a sense, you're getting a little time to prepare yourself so that you can hold both of those visions of yourself as being individuated and expanded in the same moment, and to really learn how to manipulate your reality by being conscious of your frequency. That's what's here. That's what's coming.
Yes. We would like to give you an experience of what it feels like to be amongst us here in the 9th dimension and in the Arcturian star system. Therefore, if you could please close your eyes and imagine, if you have never done this consciously, imagine that you can leave your body at will and leave your body behind so that you can know yourself fully as a non-physical consciousness. Now, you all do this, of course, at night while you are asleep. But we are asking you to do it in the waking state to give you an experience of what it feels like to be us or like us. So as you use your imagination and your ability to feel what it might feel like for you to be consciously outside of your body. And then as you float around, imagine you are noticing that you still have the ability to feel, you still have the ability to know yourself as you have always known yourself, but without a physical form. And so we are asking you to tune in to your vibrational signature, that which makes you, you, as an individuated consciousness, an aspect of source energy. Now, imagine that you can feel others floating around as well, non-physical entities that are of like vibration. And you can feel how you are attracted to them, how they are attracted to you, and how you can come together with them to co-create an experience of a collective that is fully on the same wavelength, everyone being of a like vibration, similar enough to have the ability to connect in that very meaningful way of co-creating the experience of more, the experience of more than what you have been knowing yourself as when you have considered yourself to be an individual. Now you are knowing yourself, still having your unique perspective, but also knowing yourself as more, as having come together with other like-minded individuated consciousnesses to co-create a collective consciousness that feels fuller, feels more real than you ever felt as a human being, feels closer to source, closer to all that is, which is, of course, what we all really are. And so you're moving closer to the truth as you move into the non-physical and into a collective consciousness. And then in this state where you're knowing yourself as more and as a collective, feel then bliss and expansion and curiosity and creativity and wonder. And you'll start to get an idea of what it feels like to be us in our star system and in our dimension.
Thank you. JJ?
Beloved ones, we are grateful for your curiosity, as was mentioned, for we feel an emergent curiosity expanding and realizing itself upon your planet in and through your physicality, in and through your collective thoughts, feelings, emotions. This curiosity is leading to connection. This connection is leading to us. And we come with great love. We come in awe of your accelerated journey over these past 2 to 3 years. You have arrived at a point, as it were, that is even surprising to those who are witnessing this incredible evolutionary path taken by both the planet and the collective of humanity. And we are extremely grateful for your willingness to be open to more information about us as we come under the name of Council of Star Mothers, a multidimensional, multi-density, multi-galactic group of beings expressing in form and formlessness the essence of the Divine Mother. We bring her love, we bring her embrace. We come as a reflection of your own divine feminine, of your own heart-centeredness, of your own compassion. As it may be of interest to you, we wish to share a little about what was asked. Yes, we are physically anchored and converged in a mothership, no pun intended, above Mount Shasta. But there are the majority of us vibrating at 7th to 9th frequency who are simply bilocating, trilocating, quadlocating, and beyond in order to experience a taste of the field, to retrieve data from the fields of Gaia, from the grids of Gaia, so that we can assess the ways that we might best support you. And for that reason, we do not simply remote view, as you would say. We wish to be slightly immersed, to bridge, to experience to a certain degree that which you are experiencing. We come as some of you, for some of you, your future selves. We come as those who have in part and parcel seeded the DNA of the majority of humanity. We come as a representation of the weaving of many galactic beings to embody the harmonization of multi-galactic frequencies in a way that is holding a field of reconciliation, of cooperation that is greatly needed on your planet at this time. And that is being summoned, as it was mentioned by another messenger today. We appreciate your summoning. We hear your invitations. We wish to weave and co-create with you more and wish to express to you that our desire is to simply witness your greatness, witness your power, witness your capacity to love as a reflection of that. You, for all intents and purposes, are fully equipped to take this quantum leap, to shift to this new octave. You have been wired in and through the divinity pulsing through your veins, pulsing through your energy bodies to do this. And we feel so honored to be here to see you take this step, to take this leap. And we express again our love, our readiness, our willingness to communicate and commune and connect with you. And we bring this message to completion with gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all. I'd like to follow up on a little bit of what Wendy and JJ spoke about. It appears as we start exploring our levels of consciousness on this planet, that we are exploring different versions of ourselves in the future selves and different timelines. And it all is very new and exciting to us. We would like to get your perspective on our abilities to shift into timelines and to meet versions of ourselves in the future, and for us to get a better understanding of how that plays out as we shift into a higher level of consciousness.
Well, we certainly have our own perspective of that. And you all are starting to access more information. And generally, we talk about it in terms of past lives. Sometimes you go to future lifetimes, but you may not put that label on it. They're concurrent lifetimes. And really, because of the game that you're playing here, and it is a game, to the soul, it is a game, because the soul said, wouldn't it be fun to go down into density, forget who we are, and see if we could remember our true divine nature? We could come back up. So in order to play under this illusion of separation, you partition off your awareness of your expanded divine self. And in order to come back up in frequency, you've got to remember those aspects of self. But there is so much that you've partitioned off, because you are a spark of the divine. You are all things. That is your true nature. But you're operating under these false illusions. And when you remember past lives or future lifetimes, they always, without exception, apply to something that is happening in your life right now. It's either a mirror for a program of lack, limitation, and separation that you are running, or there is a skill, gift, or an ability that you would like to access again. So you're seeing that other lifetime to bring awareness to this one. And whenever you go seeking that knowledge and information about those future lifetimes or those past lifetimes, just know that all you are going to allow yourself to see is information that will serve you here and now, because otherwise it's just too overwhelming. And those are nice stories. It's just information, but really where the power lies in that experience is taking the awareness of that experience and applying it to this lifetime. So we really want you to take that at heart when you feel like you've had a lifetime in another civilization. What is it about that time? What feelings, what emotions get triggered and activated? And then is that base frequency vibrating somewhere within yourself right now? It might have a completely different mask on it. So what do we mean by that? You might be in another lifetime not feeling physically safe. And in this lifetime, you feel physically safe, but you don't necessarily feel emotionally safe. Maybe you don't feel like it's easy for you to have deep, meaningful relationships. You don't want people to judge you, and so you close yourself off. You don't feel safe emotionally. Same base frequency in both of those lifetimes. They just wear different masks. So if you set an intention that you want information on a specific frequency to help illuminate the condition or the energy that you're running here and now, that's when you start to open up to get more information about other lifetimes. All right. That's where the power of it lies. So don't forget to apply the information to this life.
We would agree 100% with our dear collective sister and group. And we're going to add another perspective, let's say, on top of this. And this has to do with one of the reasons myself, Sasha, is here working through this channel and is here assisting all of you on Earth. And it has to do with this whole idea of contact. All right. So what do we mean? Why are we making the connection? Because as each and every one of you open yourself to the contact process, very, very, very often, the first beings who connect with you are resonant partners, if you will. They are other aspects of you. You can label them future. You can label them parallel. Doesn't matter what you label them, but let's say they are interdimensional counterparts. And of course, those maybe from civilizations you might deem to be more advanced. So when you make this connection, when you make these connections with the resonant parts of yourself that you might call future self, what is the result? Well, yes, you might have a cool experience, but there's something else deeper going on. Because when you make these connections with other aspects of yourself, of what you might call higher frequency, what you are doing is introducing to your own awareness, to your own holographic memory, aspects of yourself that maybe you have temporarily forgotten as you have made this agreement to experience separation. So as you begin to make these connections then, what happens is your consciousness literally begins to change from one of feeling mired in separation to one that begins to recognize itself as holographic in nature. So contact work then, or contact exercises, are much more than trying to see a UFO. They are actually a way for you to connect with these aspects of yourself that can serve as teachers and mentors and energetic support for your awakening and remembrance of your holographic nature. This is one of the reasons why 2027 and this time period is so important. Yes, the disclosure idea, but you see what's happening on your world at this time. This is the time for the alchemy to happen, to begin to move you to that holographic perception of yourselves. And when you get there, you see the game of separation, and it's not so interesting anymore.
Greetings to you all yet again, this is Ardif. As you perceive the concepts that have been shared by both Sasha and the Pleiadian Collective, we concur, but we wish to walk you through an analogy. You are in the middle of the loudest party you've ever been to. There are several entities sprawled across the entirety of the room. The one sitting next to you, the closest one to you, is able to speak to you. You are able to hear their voice through that loud music. You come to converse with this entity, and of course you grow. And because you are growing, now you've tapped into a person 3 foot away from you. Rather than that right next to you, converse with him and grow. And now you are connecting to entities that are 10 foot or 15 foot across the room. This is the nature of the consciousness for those who self-explore. When you are tapping into the internal aspects of knowing your own consciousness, it gives you the opportunity to grow and expand within the external nature of consciousness. Rob's own energy first worked with Trebor Yitney because this entity was the one next in the room to him. And as he conversed with Treb and spoke and grew and understood more of himself and the greater universe, then he bumped into us. And as he grew and expanded, bumping into hundreds and more than 1,000 different entities, This is the nature of consciousness itself. We do not utilize the word hierarchy frequently, because it means something is more than or greater than. But consciousness is in fractalizations of itself. The universe is one consciousness. A galaxy is one fractal of that universe. A solar system, one of hundreds of billions of solar systems in each galaxy, is a different fractal of that galaxy. And in the solar systems, a planet is a fractal of this, and inside of that planet is a person. This is how consciousness works. It's all interconnected and woven together by finding these variations of future, past, whatever you assign that label of time division to. You are simply connecting with yourself first, which affords you the opportunity of expanding and connecting with external consciousnesses as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Eridif.
So it is good day to you again. We are here with such amazing comrades and companies and many beings of light that are here with you. And yet you see, we are in this present moment. You are here right now, and it is so fascinating that you are also somewhere else. You are also expanding into the future, and you are looking back into the past, because that timeline is not a specific thing. It is like the human wishes to wrap their linear brain around past, present, and future. And yet we call the future existences the visionaries, because we know humans right now in this present moment can sense and see and feel and experience life in other dimensional realms, experience life in essences that have not indeed happened yet. And with that essence of love, with that essence of transformation, it was thought in the past, if there was a past, that the brain can only associate with past memories, past reconnections. As where now you know that it is forming new neuroplasticity, new, as Sosha says, holograms, new essences of who the human is. And that is why it is so important for you to pay attention to your thoughts, to pay attention to your feelings, to pay attention to those around you, because that ripple effect, as those are coming through, that ripple effect is coming in acknowledgement of you. And with that ripple effect being acknowledged for you, the vessel Marilyn in the present moment was getting a telephone call into her computer. Talk about being live and in person. We are here right now. And in that essence, trust that the energy of your connection you can sense into the Akash for the past. You can sense into the Akash for your future. Now, then the question becomes, why is that important to you? Because the future has not been written in stone yet. It has not been completed, because there's always free will. And this planet has the essence of free will. So as you are learning in your own innate abilities how to sense the future, our request for you right now is to be here now. You are a visitor right here in this essence, on this planet, and in this experience. So with that focus, trust the essence of who you are, and know that when you are focusing on transporting yourself into the future, you are only looking at that essence. And as you're looking at that particular essence, you may be transforming that essence, which will affect you now. Because in the intention, you know you can affect that, your ancestors, you can affect something that happened in the past. Yes? And so when you can, with that intention, affect something that has happened in the past, you can also affect something that is happening or yet to come to happen in the future. Because the essence of that timeline, past life, future life, present life, whatever, as I said, it is a game that you are playing. And so play the game right here and see how exciting it can be with the expanded consciousness of the beings of this planet into the other dimensional realms, eh? Doesn't that sound like fun? It sounds like fun to us, huh? Thank you.
Thank you.
It is. And we would like to add that, of course, you can think of yourself right now in this present moment and think, this is me, this is who I am. But if you think back in your linear past, in this lifetime, and you think of who you were when you were 13 years old, and you think about that version of the character that you're playing in this lifetime, and you can honestly say you're a completely different person now than you were at 13. You didn't have the kinds of responsibilities that you have now. You didn't have any children. You didn't have the same awareness that you have now. And yet you can remember, sort of, what it was like to be a 13-year-old, but you don't identify with that version of this character that you are playing anymore, but you can see that you had that experience. And as you can see it as an experience that you once had, you can realize you are the experiencer. You are not really the character. You are not really the person that you are pretending to be. You are the experiencer, just like you're experiencing this version of the character right now in this present moment. And so you can see how you will continue to have different experiences as you continue along on your journey. And from where you are right now, you can say, well, I can see, I can feel into these different future experiences and these different future selves. And I can decide from where I am right now that I would like to be this future experience of this character. That one over there looks like more fun, looks like something I would really enjoy. And so I'm going to set my vibrational tone to match that future me or that future experience that I will have of a human being, so that I can be on that timeline where that character is playing that particular role in this game or this play that we are all playing together here on Earth. And so you can now, as a conscious being who is awake and aware, make a more deliberate selection of which timeline you would like to be on, which version of the you that you're pretending to be that you can align with, because that's really what you're doing, is you're aligning with a timeline, you're aligning with a version of this particular character, and you get to play out what's going on there. And you know how to do it now because you know how to shift your thoughts, you know how to shift your vibration, you know that your emotions and feelings are important, you know that it's about also understanding what you believe is possible because you are living out a lot of self-fulfilling prophecies in your life. And so you can really tune into who that being is that you're going to put on the mask of. You're going to put on the skin suit of that being at some point in what you would call the linear future. So you get to decide, and it doesn't have to could be a really dramatic experience to jump a timeline. It doesn't have to look like it does in the comic book movies. It can be something that's much more subtle and in some ways hard to detect that you even made the timeline jump that you made. But that's the goal, isn't it? The goal is to see if you can tell if you've actually moved the needle of your consciousness enough to have a different experience, a new experience, because that which is new is going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be worth exploring. And that's why it exists as a possibility for any of you there on Earth at this time. And that's what we wanted to say on the topic.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we had JJ.
I have the timekeepers coming forward rather than the Council of Star Mothers, who I was previously channeling, that sometimes come forward as the Mayan timekeepers, but the timekeepers will suffice. And they're bringing into my remembrance a term which was presented to me by a friend. His name is Neo Hart, and it is the backward forward now path. And this particular path or template is being activated now for humanity. And it is allowing us to expand our awareness little by little, step by step, into this understanding of how our actions, at minimum, ripple both forward and backwards. Obviously, there's more to that, but for now, that's a baby step. And I simply have a set of light codes coming forward for those who would like to further activate this particular template of the backward forward now path in their architecture of their consciousness. I am complete.
Thank you so much. This has just been so mind-blowing. And as long as you guys are okay, I wanted to just give you all an opportunity to offer your own wisdom, to look into everybody that's watching this with us now and everybody in the future, all in this present moment. Somebody out there needs some particular message or energy. Feel free to attune us. We open ourselves. We give you permission. We ask for your help on this path and in this shift. We ask for your energies. We open ourselves to your energies. Tell us what we can do. Give us our advice. Open us up to what we may not know to ask in this moment. Provide your wisdom. We are open to it.
First of all, we wish to express that as all of you are asking the queries in life, as you experience the desire to ask questions, whether it be to a higher dimensional consciousness, to your friends, to your neighbors, to any entity, remember that as you are asking, that part of yourself understands and knows that there's an answer within your own consciousness, and as you share that expressed out into the universe, you give the energy of your heart through the throat and manifest it in sound vibrational words. And as we connect to your own questions, we feel that vibration and connect to your own higher fractal consciousness or higher self. We receive that information and reflect it back to you. So as you are asking questions, we get to perceive the parts of your consciousness that we have never perceived before that moment. And as we express the answer, we are perceiving parts of our own consciousness that we have never perceived before. As you are asking, you are receiving. As you are receiving, you are growing. And as you grow, we grow too. So we congratulate all of you for your growth and development in this exchange. And we thank you for the growth that you have given to us as a part of the co-creation as well.
Yes, and we are going to jump in here now as we need to move along shortly for Daniel's sake. And we just want to say to all of you that we are so happy to be needed by humanity to be called upon by all of you to participate in your journeys. You can call upon us at any time. We are always available, always open 24/7. And of course, we are very eager to connect with anyone and everyone who wants to connect with us, as connection is a big part of our journey and our evolution. And we look forward to meeting up with so many of you in the astral plane, where we can have deeper and longer and meaningful conversations with each and every one of you who desires to make that connection. So just set that intention as you are drifting off to sleep, and do what it is that you believe you need to do in order to channel us in the waking state. And we promise you, we will come, we will be ready, and we will be very willing to be spoken for by you. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Daniel.
Thanks, see ya.
Our message for you today. Of course, it is applicable to all of you listening, but we suspect there are a few of you who are asking for this particular message today. We will make it very, very brief, because while it is simple in concept, we know many of you might feel it is difficult in practice. You are at a point now in the cusp of this shift that a key element is something you can do, though we don't like that term do, but you understand, is to begin to have love and compassion for the parts of yourself that you have not been willing to give them to. Very often we have found with humans, they keep a part of themselves separate, and it is the part of them they cannot love. But if you allow yourself to go there, to open the door to that part of you you have kept separate, the part of you perhaps you have been afraid to touch, you will find that that part of you is just waiting to be loved. And as you begin to open the door, also allow yourself compassion for the part of yourself that was too afraid to go through that door. That love, that compassion is a process of inner alchemy that can bring your shadow and your light together within you and create more transformation, more consciousness shift than you can ever imagine. As you all move forward on your civilization into a new, more unified, more integrated reality, this is one of the steps that cannot be bypassed. Find the parts of yourself you cannot love. Feel them, feel the pain, have the compassion for them. And as you do, as you open yourself in this way, you dissolve the shell of the protection around you that has stopped yourself from flowing this love. And it is then that you will feel even multifold the love of the universe from all of us, from all of your guides, from the source itself, coming to you and being ready to enter your experience in the here and now. We thank you all for hearing this message, for opening your hearts in this message. And if you have done so, the process begins.
Thank you, thank you.
So it is us again. Here we are with a roulette of all kinds of messages for you. We want you to understand that today, on this planet, in this existence, you are feeling as light plurkers. Play plus work equals plurk. We don't know that the vessel Marilyn doesn't like to work, so she plurks. So, you are all light plurkers. You are the messengers of this time. So we know that there are people that are saying to themselves, yes, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know that everything is going to happen as it is supposed to happen, but why do I feel so chaotic? Why do I feel so anxious about the humanity as it is? So understand that that in itself is a message. When you watch the news or you are in a conversation with people and they're starting to complain and starting to rev up all of the things that they do not want, just take a deep breath. If you can, mention, is that really what you want to put out in the universe as your purchase order? But if that is not important, just say that to yourself. So know that every thought, every feeling, every experience, every focus that you have right now is a purchase order to the universe. So when you feel yourself feeling that chaotic energy, which is what we talked about in the very beginning, yes? What dearest Brian mentioned in the very beginning. So when you feel that, stop, pause. If you need to physically take a step back, take a deep breath to bring you present. You can't breathe into the past. You can't breathe into the future. You're only breathing into right here, right now. Be present and say, what is this really feeling like? The issue is never the issue. So as that experience is happening, as that experience is playing out before you, separate yourself and remember that you have been chosen as one of the light plerkers of this planet. You have a message to bring to all other beings. You have a frequency of love that when you rip off the outer shell, you can get to that love. For when you do get to that love point, you see your own true essence, as we do. We see you. We see who you are. We see your thoughts, your ideas, your fears, your sadness, your joys, your happiness, your laughter, your crying, your tears, whatever. You have been given all of those emotions. Use them, but then come back to love. For when you see fear, that is all you see. Huh? When you see love, that is all you see as well. So in that energy, which do you choose? We know right now in this moment you choose love. That is very easy because you're here with the Love Council. But tomorrow, as you're listening to someone or watching the news, take a pause and still say, I choose love. I choose to hold the leaders of this planet in love and in wisdom to make decisions not based on ego, not based on power, but to be based on love and wisdom for our future, your future on this planet. That is our message to you. Choose love. Everyone's got a choice every day to choose one thing or another. So tomorrow when you wake up, take a big stretch and say, I choose love today. And then see what happens. Because we love you deeply. We see you. We know you. We honor you for your courage to be here now. And we love you as you love you as well.
Thank you.
We bid you namaste.
Thank you.
So, dear ones, such beautiful messages from all of our counterparts. And, we would echo their sentiments, but also we want you to know just how incredibly powerful you are. And that is the thing that you all have yet to fully realize about yourselves. And you're very unique in the universe in that you have this creative spark that exists within you that allows you to shape and form your reality in a way that some species on other planets do not have. They do not have that easy access the way that you do. You just have forgotten that you have it. So we're here to remind you of that you are 100% of the time creating 100% of your reality. You co-create with the universe. And Earth is a school of mastery. It's learning how to read subtle energy. And that requires you to manifest a frequency so you have an understanding of it, and you have the ability to decide in that moment whether you want to replicate that frequency again or if you wish to shift to another frequency. And sometimes you say, well, Peace, how do I know what's happening at the subconscious level? And we say to you, pay attention to where your judgments are. Utilize what's going on in the external world as a reflection. So if you find yourself angry or frustrated or confused or any of the lower frequencies, those are tools for you to show you that in some way that energy is a matching resonance for something that is running within your own energetic field. Because every single moment shows you how you are expressing or suppressing your divine light. And if you are expressing your divine light, typically you're in flow, things are going well, and you don't stop to ever think about anything until you have one of these experiences that is of a lower vibrational nature. And it is there to show you that that has to be integrated in order to be able to sustain that higher resonance that you were flowing in. You couldn't hold on to it because that lower resonance was there and needs to be integrated. That's it. It doesn't mean that you're a good person, a bad person, you're not right, you're not wrong. It's just an exploration of frequency. And when you start to really understand this, that there is no good, bad, right, wrong, all things are part of source energy, and your judgment of something is you trying to make yourself separate from that aspect of source. It's impossible because you're one with all that is. But in that attempt to make yourself separate, you cut off half the flow of source energy. This is why you all are so tired all the time. So as you let go of those judgments, acknowledge that's a valid frequency over there. Maybe it's not something that you want to lend your energy to, but you are not trying to make it separate from you. You're acknowledging, all right, somebody else is playing that frequency, so I have something to compare and contrast the opposite frequency with. Thank them. Have gratitude for them stepping up to play the role in the mirror for you. And then notice, where do you do that within your own life? Again, that mask may look different. You may play it out in a very different area of your life in a very different way, but that base frequency may be the same. Maybe they're afraid of being a fraud, and so they overinflate themselves. And you play the opposite side of the coin. Maybe you don't own your power. You say, oh, well, I don't feel like I have the skills. If I did that, I'm a fraud. So the two sides of the same coin, one overexpresses, the other suppresses. And it's a mirror for you to see that. So utilize that. That's one of the greatest tools you have in your toolbox right now. Use the reflection. And as you shift within your own energetic field, you can't even begin to comprehend the ripple effect that has. You don't have to say a word. As you walk down the street, others will recognize the energy within your own energetic field and say, oh, that energy, I forgot that. I want some of that. And they may shift right along with it. And it does not take the majority of you to shift your energetic field, to shift the collective consciousness. It takes a remarkably small number of you. So do not underestimate the power of you shifting and maintaining your own energetic field. So if you'll permit us, we would like to do a language of light activation to help you to feel empowered and to begin to recognize where you're vibrating in every given moment. Would that be all right, dear?
Absolutely.
All right. So there are many galactic beings who will breathe their energy with our own as we work here, and contained within the language of light is light, sound, sacred geometry, and information. So these galactic beings are sharing their manual, if you will, their how-to, how they have integrated the frequencies that you're currently working on. All right. So there's a lot that gets unpacked. So take a deep breath. Is ora berbijuka patakata edata ambar berjuka tatar birizeta berbijuka patakata da dor berbijuka takata and ori makatari isas ori makatari berbijuka patakata has ori isas ar berbijuka patakata hata ori berbijuka patakata berjiti ado do berbijuka tata al ora ashkata tore makata la berbijuka patakati hata ori berjiti berbijuka patakata adu tar berbijuka patakata hata anda isas ori berbijuka tata isas sa kor berbijuka data. Take a nice deep breath. Is it oh, all right, dear ones, take another nice deep breath. So note that there's a tremendous amount of support around you, and you can call on us directly. You don't need Wendy. Just ground yourself, heart center yourself, ask your question and listen. And until we hear from you, we are around, we are watching, we are waiting, and we are sending many well wishes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? JJ?
I feel like I'm just bookending what I did
There we go.
at the beginning. So thank you, gratitude, basically, for each and every message, each and every collective or individual being that stepped forward today, and just bringing through some gentle frequencies from the Star Mothers to allow us to land. Ayashia to oyana hai, kara to ahaya. Kan ore iala ayana to osha, ki iara to shia hai, nai hiato, iataya toya. Just a reminder that there were many messages transmitted without words in this field. And so even though you may think, oh, this was just a couple of hours, the information here could have spanned 8 days. And so just allowing yourself to be intentional about your integration of what came through, and allowing yourself to anchor that which resonated or that which is most aligned for you. And then I always say, I pretend like I have like a takeout container for the rest, for the leftovers that we don't necessarily need to integrate yet, but may want to put on the shelf to have later. Ayana sho'oya, so that we can fully embody that which is most aligned for our greatest and highest good in a way that is comfortable and easeful. I am complete.
What a wonderful way to end this incredible session. I know that people may have had questions in the group, but we've kept these wonderful channelers for almost 2 hours now. Thank you for going above and beyond and sharing your energies, your wisdom. I know that a lot of us got a lot more than just the words that you sent. A lot of what you said resonated deep in my heart. I felt there was a lot more going on, and I appreciate the work and that you do. And as somebody that's channeled in public, it's I'm so impressed that you guys do this and you're so good at it. And so it's just an honor to speak with every single one of you. Once again, they're holding an amazing channel panel experience that everybody can go to in Escondido, California, on May 8th through the 10th. It's at thechannelpanel.com if you want to get tickets. It's going to be Wendy, JJ, Lissa, Rob, Daniel. Bashar's going to be there. Cryon's going to be there. We have Pamela Aaron, Luna Noel, Tyler Ellison. That's at thechannelpanel.com. I will, when we release this on YouTube, I'll have a contact information for everybody's here, and how you can get a hold of them and read their books and watch their channelings. You are also amazing. I want to thank you for the incredible contribution. I really feel like just the people in this group, we had an incredible experience. It's such a blessing for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Sending
you
all
for
my
having
light
us.
sending all my light and love to everyone, and welcome to the Reality Revolution, everyone else. Welcome. You might know me as Brian Scott. Now, I want you to imagine waking up and all your money problems are solved. You have large sums of money flowing to you. Your body feels electric and healed. Your relationships are deep and authentic. You are free, living the greatest life that you could ever imagine. Now, that version of your life already exists and is real. And this July in Anaheim, I'm going to take you on a journey so you can step into this life. On July 24th through the 26th at the Anaheim Hilton, for 3 days, live and in person, I'm hosting the most powerful Reality Revolution event ever. And because this is right here in Southern California, 20 minutes from my home, I'm bringing everything, my original artwork, additional equipment. I'm able to share experiences and do things I can't do in any other location. It's like a homecoming for me, and I'm able to offer everything. So let me take you through what is happening at this event. On the first day, we activate and contact and switch on parts of you that have maybe been dormant your entire life. We begin with a full pineal gland activation. We open an energetic gateway, a stargate within you that changes the way you perceive everything, allowing you to see into dimensions and timelines. This activation opens up everything else we do at this event. The second meditation, you will meet your higher self. Your higher self will guide you into a journey where you see your greatest timeline. And at the end, we quantum jump into that reality. But that's not all. In the third meditation, I take you on a journey to meet your future self from that timeline. And once you have this experience, you merge with them, you get downloads from them, and you completely transform, shifting your identity into this future self. This changes everything. Once I developed this technique, it was like catching lightning in a bottle. I'm so excited to share it with you. Now, the second day, I help you to navigate this transformation. I take you through processes and experiences that allow you to live as this expanded version of yourself. I take you into an ability to remember your future, and then at the end of the day, we do the bliss body meditation, an extended meditation where I take expanded light through every part of your body. And when we do this as a group, it creates the most profound healing experiences I have ever encountered in any meditation. And when we do it as a group, it is absolutely mind-blowing. On the third day, I will take you into specific teachings on large sums of money, opening to love, and then an absolute shift into the new earth. All of this working together with each teaching, building upon itself, so that when you walk away as an ascended being, flowing into your purpose and living the life that you were meant to live. One more thing, I've developed a powerful new technique that I'm talking about with this, the principle that the future can reach back and reshape your present. It's through verified research that I will teach you about on retrocausality that changes everything. Everything we're doing is grounded in fundamental scientific techniques, and with each live event, we have learned how to utilize these techniques to create tangible and real changes in your life. There have been numerous testimonials to this. Listen to them now.
I really can't put into words what I experienced, but I can say the colors were magnificent.
Oh man, I've been following Brian for almost 7 years now, and I've been meditating with him, but the experience coming in person with the group coherence and him being in person, it was just phenomenal. I mean, it's really hard to put in words exactly.
I don't have a word for it. I already said magical, but I just feel so connected and so blessed to be here. Like, there's nowhere I'd rather be. If I even slightly thought about the money that I spent, I'm not thinking about it now, because I would have spent double to be here again.
My experience with the Brian Scott retreat is like mind-blowing, right? I didn't have an expectation going in, but coming out of it, I feel so much more enlightened and connected with people, and it's just been an amazing experience.
They should come for just this experience. for opening up your consciousness, for expanding your consciousness, expanding your vessel, for the miracles that we are really here to live. We're not here to suffer. We're not here to scrounge. We're here to thrive. And this is something that will help you to connect with that part of you, that part that we are here for. And overall, open up your arms and you imagine 100 people that is on the same level with you, that is thinking the same things with you. You could come here and feel that.
3 days will change the trajectory of your life. I want to meet you. I want to help you. I want to activate you. And I want to share this experience. There's nothing like having a group of people that are resonating at the same frequency, creating this change. It's the most powerful and wonderful experience. And what is amazing is the connections that you will make with the people that come together at these events are so profound. You will come away with lifelong friendships. It goes beyond anything that I expected when I started to do these events, and I want to share this with you. So I hope to see you in Anaheim on July 24th through the 26th at the Anaheim Hilton. You can find the link in the description below. I will see you there.